Hey everybody, welcome in or welcome back to my channel. This is Miss Tarot, and today we have another pick a card reading for you today that will be very general. We're just going to get some channeled messages from Spirit and see what messages were meant to find you today. So in front of you, we have 3 piles to choose from on top of the Moonology Oracle cards. Pile 1, you have the Caribbean Calcite. Pile 2, you have the fluorite stone. And then pile 3, you have the opal. So go ahead and take a moment to see which pile or stone speaks to you, and I will see you at your reading. Hey there, pile 1, if you chose the Caribbean Calcite stone, this will be your reading as to what messages were meant to find you today. And to start off, we are using the Moonology Oracle cards just to get a sense for what the incoming message theme is. And you have your hard work is paying off with new moon in Capricorn. We will be using the Dark Reflections Tarot today. And let's take a look and see what is going on. All this hard work that you've been putting in. You know, it's every day people put in so much work into so many areas of their life. It can sometimes feel like, I don't know about you, but it can sometimes feel like even though somebody else might consider it hard work, you just think it's just kind of day to day. You might be a little desensitized to the work you put in. I don't know. I just kind of take that as it resonates. Okay, let's take a look, pile 1, and see what this hard work is and what messages Spirit has for you. Okay, just 3 for right now. We have the Page of Pentacles, and the Page of Cups, and we also have the Ace of Swords. Wow, okay. I am also going to, I have this wonderful new little deck that I just kind of spoke to me just because I'm really into gemstones. I am going to get a little bit of clarification from this deck and just pull a couple cards for you just as some additional messages in with this. But right now I do see that you have definitely been putting in a lot of work with the Page of Pentacles and the Page of Cups. I know I've said this in other readings, but this is kind of newbie energy. This is the beginning of a learning. This is beginning of a process or an adventure. For you, I do think that this is some sort of calling for you. This is something that very much harmonizes your emotional and your need for you know, obviously materialistic gain. So this probably is a job or a new career path that you're trying to align more with you spiritually. And it does look like to me with this Ace of Swords that this kind of, you know, maybe this was a new venture for you that kind of came out of like a clear blue sky. I just picture like almost like this, like a lightning bolt or something coming out of the clouds and receiving some serious clarity as to what you want to do that is going to make your soul happy. So let's see if we can get another couple messages. Obsidian with the Death. To the well-organized mind, death is but the next great adventure. Yeah. And for, you know, obviously the Death card in tarot signifies change. And then love with Morganite. If you love somebody, let them go. For if they return, they were always yours. If they don't, they never were. Okay. So for you, pile 1, I do think that you might be encountering a little bit of, I don't want to say self-doubt. I actually think that you're probably getting a lot of pushback from other people that have traditionally been supportive of you. I don't really think that this Morganite stone with the love card really speaks to, you know, you taking somebody out of your life. I really do think that it's more about not letting the negativity get to you when it comes to this particular venture of yours, and probably staying into the mindset of approaching this as, like it says, the next great adventure. You know, all these times when people express their concerns about your well-being, or things that they think you know, dreams that they think you might be chasing kind of fruitlessly. You know, people can be, especially loved ones and people who mean a lot to you, can be kind of harsh and almost come across as Debbie Downers when it comes to really not understanding from your perspective where your hopes and dreams actually lie. And, you know, while I think that most of the time they have your best interests at heart, they aren't you, and they don't know what it's like to be you and have this sort of creative passion, or this calling, or this kind of really deep-seated knowledge or understanding that this is kind of what you were meant to do. I did take a peek at the back of the deck just because, you know, I was fiddling with the deck, and we have the Chariot here. So I do think you are being pulled in two different directions right now as to if you should actually pursue this or not. I think that this message here that is coming in for you, pile one, from the Moonology card, saying your hard work is paying off, is definitely a message of encouragement. It's letting you know that even though you probably don't see the results, you're gaining momentum. You're going to start seeing results soon. I kind of think of it almost like, I don't know, like maybe like you can liken it to like a weight loss type venture, where, you know, in the beginning it's kind of slow going, and it's like, oh, I don't know if this is really right for me, or I'm doing all this work and I'm not seeing any progress, but inside your body is actually changing. And, you know, it takes a little bit for you with small successes to gain the momentum to keep going and going and going. So I do think that you may be toying with the idea of giving up, and definitely maybe pulled in two different directions. One with what your heart wants, and another with kind of realistic expectations, or what you feel is a realistic expectation, or a realistic thought that's saying, you know, this is not a good time to go down this road and into this adventure. But I do believe that what the spirit messages are trying to tell you is to stay the course. So let's get a few more cards and see what other messages are popping in for you. Okay. The Emperor. Yeah, definitely going to be standing in your power. Okay, let's see here. So we have the Ace of Wands, keeping the passion. Absolutely. Oh, we got a few that snuck out here. Okay, the Two of Swords. Yeah, definitely. Decisions, right? Pile one. It's it's the, I don't know, what am I supposed to do card. It's trying to figure out which way is the right way for you. And I do think that there is a lot for you to do when it comes to standing in your power. You got the Hierophant and you have the Emperor here. Both very powerful figures. One is a lot about structure and really, like, you know, standing in one's power and knowing the path and standing true for what you believe in. And the other is a lot to do with, again, structure and balance and harmony when it comes to just kind of spirituality and how that harmonizes together. This is, you know, this is religion. This is, and whether or not you're religious or spiritual, it speaks more to the process and following those, how do I want to say it? Those processes that bring you closer to things. So kind of rituals and other things like that actually bring you closer to your purpose. Yeah, and it does seem like there's a lot of indecision here with you, pile one. I don't think that you are. I think that you're definitely being cautious, but I think that you're being encouraged to move forward because you really got this Ace of Wands spark here. And like I said, with, you know, the Chariot card that decided to show itself, you're definitely being pulled with the Two of Swords here as well. I think what the main thing is, oh, and you know, just as I look over, that's pretty funny. As I looked over just to grab another Oracle deck, we have Jade on here, which is fear. Becoming fearless isn't the point. That's impossible. It's learning how to control your fear and how to be free from it. I'll just set that guy over there. That one had flipped over on its own. It was on the stack. So, you know, take that as it resonates. But yeah, I'm thinking for you, pile one, two, that another piece of the advice is to not get bogged down into the self-doubt and living in that fear mentality of, you know, am I going to fail? Is this not going to work out for me? It's definitely kind of killing your vibe, if that makes sense. We don't want to dampen this Ace of Wands energy, right? So let's get some messages from Spirit as to how we can overcome this. You know, we have the staying in your power, and also, you know, committing to the process and the rituals. But let's see. All right, cool, fine. We'll just do that. That's 3. So we have the Queen of Pentacles. Yeah. We have the Six of Swords. Okay, that's always encouraging. And then we have the Four of Wands, which is 1111. It's destiny. It's portals opening up. So that message couldn't be any clearer to me, pile one. It's definitely going to work in your favor. It probably had a bit of a rocky start. And not only did you have to deal with your own self-doubt, and you had to deal with other people just kind of discouraging you on going down this path, but you know, probably it wasn't the smoothest process for you either. Maybe it took a lot to get up and running. Maybe it took a lot of courage. Maybe it took a lot of resources and financial, but I do see that it's paying off. And I don't think that you're going to see like massive, you know, success from this right away, but I do think that it's aligned and it is coming. The Six of Swords talks about leaving behind the choppy waters and sailing into you know, some calmer waters. You're moving away from the conflict and moving away from the challenges into a period of calmness and a period of just, I can do this. The Queen of Pentacles is always somebody who is standing in her own power too, especially just like the Emperor. And she is, you know, somebody who very much has that nurturing and practical side of her, but is grounded and focused, and really understands what it's going to take to be materialistically comfortable. You know, when the challenges, if you want to consider like the challenges, on the other way, it could be that, you know, you may have felt pretty insecure, or, you know, maybe you had like some money issues, but the Queen of Pentacles is here to pretty much let you know that, you know, becoming organized and really coming into your own and giving it all you got essentially is really going to show you a lot of abundancy. And you know, you are following your common sense and you're building this solid foundation. Okay, so just, you know, trust that you have everything you need and that you are not being wasteful, you're being resourceful, you're just, you know, you see the abundant resources around you essentially. But let's also get, just because I've been dying to use this deck, I got the Wisdom of the Oracle deck, and I follow another YouTuber. Her name is Julie Poole, and if you haven't checked her out, absolutely check her out. She is phenomenal. She's probably one of the few that I have ever come across where she has never steered me wrong in any sort of way. Her channeling is just absolutely amazing. But she uses this deck, and I always admire it. So we're going to get a card from Wisdom of the Oracle and then follow up with your Angel Power card. What do you have to say to pile one, Spirit? Have you got anything else? Just one today? Okay, that's fine. Higher power. Okay. And I am going to pop open the guidebook because I haven't exactly, I've read through it, but I haven't exactly memorized it. But you have the number 4, which has a lot to do with guidance and protection from spirit and the angels. And again, with the higher power card, this oracle message reminds you that you are more than just somebody who's trying to get ahead and make things happen for yourself. You are gifted in this human life with a higher power that's really going to express itself. Okay, so the essential meaning from this is conscious contact with a higher power, the presence of the divine, seeing source energy in all things, and committing to a partnership with spirit. So there is a part in this deck, in this guidebook, where it says, you need to get out of your own way. Trust that there is a plan for your life, 4 of Wands, and understand that life can be more amazing than you can ever know. That's what it says. You are always protected and divinely directed. Number 4 in higher power. So, and with that, we are going to get one more angel message card, as if that wasn't already enough of an angel message. Angel of Wisdom. Let's see here. I messed everything up. Okay, so pursue knowledge and spiritual growth. Oh, that's beautiful. So because they go hand in hand, right? So there isn't any sort of, growth or you can't neglect one for the other. You can pursue knowledge, but it's also going to grow you spiritually. And you can't pursue spiritual growth without having to pursue that knowledge. And I do think with the Angel of Wisdom card, it does speak to kind of finding the answer within when you're still, when you retreat from the world. And it does say in the guidebook that, through silence and prayer, you can definitely hear angel whispering, or your intuition or spirit, whoever you subscribe to, is there and will speak to you when we ask for comfort, when we ask for guidance. So the angels in this particular message are encouraging you to expand your knowledge in order to increase your opportunities and deepen your spiritual growth. When we're pursuing answers to important questions, we always have to do the research and through life lessons and knowledge to help us, get that clarification. So the main message for this is to seek knowledge, to become a wise counsel, and heal with words of wisdom as ordained by angels. So yes, for you, pile 1, I really do think that whatever this venture is that you are on, you are being divinely guided, you are being divinely protected. This is definitely a challenge for you. But with this whole challenge there's this beautiful energy and prosperity around you if you stay the course. I think the best is yet to come is kind of the overreaching message of this whole reading here for you today. So all right, pile 1, that is all the messages I have for you today. Thank you so much for being here. If you have particularly resonated with this reading, I would very much appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate all of you who have been helping me grow this channel, and it's amazing. So I'm just going to leave it at that instead of yammering on sometimes at the end like I do. So thank you so much for being here, and I hope to see you at your next reading, pile 1. Take care. Hey there, pile 2. Welcome to your reading. If you chose the green fluorite stone, you are getting a general reading today as to what messages are meant to find you today. I do want you to kind of take a moment to think about something you really need the answers to, and we're going to get some guidance. So maybe you already did that, but to start off, we're going to pull the Moonology deck and kind of getting over kind of a sense of what this incoming energy or what is kind of surrounding you at the moment. Okay, so for pile 2, you have hold your vision with the fixed moon. And that is definitely a pretty strong message. Pretty straightforward. You might be going through something that is really taking a lot of your time and energy and quite possibly might be draining you. So let's get a little bit more information too from the tarot. Kind of like pile one was having the same, just a little bit of struggles too. So with kind of moving forward with something that they very much care about. So if that kind of message resonates with you, you might want to check out pile one as well. But we got hold your vision, fixed moon. What vision are we holding, Spirit? And what messages? Okay. A lot. We got chunks of cards today for you, pile two. And while I was kind of pulling these out, okay, did you see that? That just decided to go whink on its own. So I'm taking it. That was just really weird. Okay, so we have Queen of Wands. We have the Two of Pentacles. Oh, okay. We have Strength. That was kind of a weird card. I was looking at that and I'm like, that almost looks a little creepy. Let's see. It is called the Dark Reflections Tarot. We have the Three of Cups. We have the Three of Wands. That's going to clarify that. We also have the Wheel of Fortune that is going to clarify this. And we have the Moon, which is clarifying the Moon. Okay, so what I'm seeing for you, pile two, is a lot of messages right away. Okay, so with the hold your vision and the fixed moon, and then we have the full moon in the tarot right below it. So I think for you, pile two, there is something that you are envisioning, a goal or something that you want to bring into fruition, something you're trying to manifest. And it might be taking a little bit more time than what you have anticipated, or maybe it's when we're definitely trying to manifest things, sometimes we can get in that loop of really wondering when it's going to come. And the universe has its own time frame, and there is no way of rushing anything, right? It's all we can do is kind of sit back and wait and really trust the process. And I think here you are not seeing the full picture. You are not seeing all the things that are happening around you that are going to bring this into fruition. I think that it is deliberately keeping it from you, though. I'm not sure if you are somebody who gets very easily discouraged or has put a lot of effort into things that usually that might not pan out, and therefore you get easily discouraged. Are you kind of battling similarly to pile one? Are you battling a little bit of self-doubt, wondering if it's ever going to happen? And I do see with all the cards here that it is in the process. Again, it's still coming. It's going to come when it comes. But we have the Strength card here with the Two of Pentacles. The Two of Pentacles is about balancing your resources and being in harmony. And right now there's a lot of force, I believe, that you are kind of pushing into this manifestation. And it's interesting in the way when people are trying to manifest, when they really try to force things instead of kind of setting their intention and then just kind of letting it go, just handing it to the universe. When they try to force things, it's almost like it pushes it away. So I do think that what the first advice piece is, and the messages that I'm getting, is that you are possibly not in harmony right now. You're not going with the flow. You're not kind of balanced. And you're using a lot of force, especially this card with the Strength card here. Strength, in the tarot is usually kind of a beautiful card where, she's kind of taming this wild animal. And this card very much looks like he's trying to force something with this lion. I don't know if you can see that, but, it's kind of like this card of just like, yeah, it's definitely the poor lion. It looks like he's almost being force fed. Oh my God. Or if for those of you have dogs like me, like if a dog is running around with something in his mouth and you're like, drop it. What do you have in your mouth? And you have to chase it, pry him open. Okay, I'm getting off track. But I do want to remind you that, and I think this is why the Wheel of Fortune is here to clarify this, is that the wheel is turning in your favor. It is coming into fruition. Probably you're like, oh, like right here, and it needs to get here. But this is karmic cycles. This is something that's coming due to you. Your ships are coming in with the Three of Wands, and Three of Wands is also 111. Okay, so this manifestation is coming, and trust the process and really try to understand that you are on the universe's time right now. Okay. We do have the Queen of Wands here, which is a lot of fire energy. And I think it kind of harmonizes a bit with the Strength card too, except for the fact that this person isn't necessarily impulsive, but this person is very creative and really has that spark within them that as to how to move forward. And it can be really hard at times to try and, temper that drive and really kind of just rein things in and wait. But it's definitely, you need to have confidence, and you really, it's a lot of personal empowerment is what I'm trying to say. So, you found your passion, you just need to continue having the confidence and being courageous and moving forward. With the Three of Cups here, you might be in some sort of, friendship or kind of community engagement when it comes to this particular vision. Maybe you were relying on other people to kind of help you out, or, through your social connections, kind of move this vision forward. And that's absolutely possible. There's a real strong message here about, just becoming more playful and having more fun with this actual manifestation and the vision, and kind of, waiting, the waiting game, and understanding that manifestations take time. Your ships are coming in. And then, hey, look, then it's going to be time to party, right? It's like, woohoo. Let's get a little bit more information. I'm going to actually pull some cards from this really kind of interesting deck I found, because I'm really I've always been into tumbled stones and rocks and gemstones and things, and I collect them, but I really haven't gotten into like the properties of them yet. I know some, but I'm far from being an expert, and I have like a little book and I'm trying to learn. But when I saw this deck, I was like, ooh, this is pretty. I want to see. And it has some really interesting messages in here. So Spirit, would you have anything to say to Pile 2 about this particular vision that they got going on? Okay, just one. Not gonna push it. Okay, we have Black Pearl. Okay, so, and this is gluttony. He who is not contented with what he has will not be contented with what he would like to have. And that actually does speak a lot, not in a negative way, Pile 2. I don't want you to think that you're being a glutton, but I do think that you are really discontent with the process, and not, like I said, kind of enjoying the ride, so to speak, or enjoying what it's taking you to get there. You want to speed things up. You want to really kind of push the envelope in terms of making things happen now. And I don't want to call that gluttony per se, but I think it's more like, where it says that, you're not content with what you have. And, part of being content with the process and being content with what you have is attracting what you want, and therefore enjoying what is coming to you. If that makes sense, that might be a little, I might figure out a different way to explain that. But I do think another message here that maybe might explain it a little bit more is in terms of gluttony, is trying to take everything at once and really kind of like hold on to it. So instead of instead of kind of like I talked about with manifestations where you set your intention and poof, let it go, you're kind of hanging on to it and you're really kind of forcing something, and instead it might be pushing things away. So definitely just pay attention to that. Okay. Pay attention to that energy. Let's get a little bit more advice. Okay. As to how we can probably, overcome some of these challenges, or maybe get a little bit of reassurance or confirmation, something. What other messages do you have for pile 2, Spirit? Really? You just want to take a dive down there? Okay. That's what we're doing today. Okay. 8 of Pentacles, putting in the work, being patient. Anything else? We just got 2. We just got 2. Okay. So, oh, and on the back of the deck, we have the 10 of Pentacles. So yes, this is going to come into fruition. This is absolute prosperity right there. But you are going to have to do the work, and you're going to have to be, slow down a bit. Okay, pile 2. I think the message here is, the 8 of Pentacles is this diligent guy who's just going through the motions, doing the work one step at a time. It's that kind of energy. It's the, minor arcana version of temperance, if you want to call it that. But it's definitely encouraging you to be patient. Let's see here. And then we have, so this card, in the Dark Reflections Tarot is called Shadow. And I'm going to read to you as to what that kind of means, because it is a very different card. And it really speaks to, how do I want to say, the shadow self, essentially. And yes, so with this one, it has to do with kind of, it represents kind of the unconscious, kind of the repressed parts of yourself that you need to confront in order to achieve this wholeness or to move forward, because this is halting your progress. Okay. Like I said earlier, that sometimes when you try to force your manifestations on your timeline, you end up pushing things away. And I do think that this shadow side with you is coming in pretty strong, to say that, hey, you need to confront what this kind of, paranoid or obsessive, even narcissistic kind of quality that is kind of forcing, that you are trying to force the issue. You really need to look at that side of you and really have that confidence and trust, essentially. It's part of, I guess some questions to ask yourself would be like, what are you looking at with your thoughts? Are they mostly worries? Is it possible that you're believing that something's not going to come into fruition and that is very true? Are you, bringing negative energy into this manifestation? It's you really need to get this guy under control. Okay. I'm going to, that was definitely some solid advice, and take a look at that. But I also am going to pull Wisdom of the Oracle cards for you. I got this deck just recently, and I always see my favorite tarot YouTuber, Julie Poole, using it, and I've admired it for so long. And if you haven't checked out Julie Poole, definitely check her out, because she is absolutely amazing. Those two came out. They just wanted to come out. So we have for you, oh, here we go. No Place Like Home and Treasure Island. Okay, those two are very, very different cards. But let's start with, which one should we start with? No Place Like Home? I think so. So this one has a lot to do with kind of being authentic, coming back into yourself, and really being at home and being content with what is happening around you right now. You know, this is a place where you feel safe and you feel secure and you are comfortable. You know, it's not a place where you feel like you have to constantly be on edge or keep pushing things. You're not fighting when you're home. You don't need to fight. You know, you trust that things are happening and that you feel good when you're at home. I think that it's asking you to come back into that energy and essentially trust. Okay. And then, you know, with the, what am I trying to say? The Treasure Island card here, and that is the number 9. So the number 9 is getting so close to completing a cycle. Okay. Number 9 is about the law of attraction. Okay. This is bringing your dreams into fruition and the results of positive thinking and manifestation and just, you know, the abundance and happiness and all the good things appearing out of nowhere. Okay. You know, you've worked really hard with, you know, this, especially with this 8 of Pentacles guy. And, you know, you just need to stay unwavering in your belief that this abundance is going to happen. Okay. The Treasure Island is about, you know, all the good things coming to your life, you know, soon or suddenly. It's kind of like finding that buried treasure, essentially. It's definitely, another message is definitely to trust your intuition as you enter this prosperous phase, okay? And to trust that this is happening and that your hard work is going to pay off. And, you know, don't forget to enjoy and share it with others because, you know, something that the Oracle deck says that I really loved with the Treasure Island message is when you share it with others, it multiplies, you know, it comes back to you tenfold or more. You never know. I am also going to get an angel message, an angel wisdom card for you, pile 2. And we got the light of hope. Yeah. Okay. So we're just getting multiple confirmations here from exactly what I was saying. I love it when that happens. Hope gives us positive feelings and energies to accomplish what we deserve and desire. And I don't know why I said deserve, but you probably very much do deserve this, you know, pile 2. So, you know, hope. The light of hope is trusting spirit. It's that belief in your heart and that you are, you know, connected to that faith that something's going to turn out well, even if you don't understand how that is going to happen. Okay. You put your manifestation out there and you just let it go and trust in spirit to give it to you. And it's going to happen soon. Okay. Your ships are coming in, but you really do, you can't force the process. And they have a plan for you. Essentially, it's trusting that you are, they have a plan for you. And you know, the hope gives us feeling and energy to keep going in this line and hoping that this is that miracle road that is going to lead us to health and happiness and healing. Yeah. So, you know, really trusting yourself, trusting, you know, the plan, trusting the universe is kind of the overarching theme that we're kind of getting here is don't rush things. I just heard that song. You know, what is that? You know, it's, gosh, that one song from back in the day. I used to hear it with my parents all the time. And don't hurry, love. No, you just have to wait. That song. I don't think this is love, but definitely you can't hurry your manifestation. You just have to wait and trust that it's coming. Okay. And I did see, I don't know why, but I picked it up and I was flipping around and it says new beginnings, something new begins today. Embrace these possibilities. Okay. And then again, you got the hidden treasures right underneath that with Treasure Island. It is coming in. Just really trust and let it go. And it will come to you before you know it, pile 2. Okay. All right, pile 2, those are all the messages I have for you today. If this reading resonated with you, I very much appreciate it. If you commented down below, it really helps the channel. Also consider subscribing and making the the YouTube algorithm God's happy with liking and commenting. That always somehow, you know, brings about you know, spreads these out into the YouTube algorithm, or however it works. I don't even know. All right, but thank you so much for Pile 2 for being here. You are extra special. I appreciate you so much. I hope that you have a good rest of your week. Take care. Hey there, Pile 3, if you chose the opal stone, although this doesn't look much like an opal, but if you cracked it open, it would. This will be your reading for Pile 3, and what messages were meant to find you today. So we pulled a Moonology Oracle card, and to just kind of assess the incoming energies and the main theme of your message for this reading. And for you today, we have balancing spirituality and practicality, which is full moon in Pisces. Okay. And I do want to pull also your tarot cards as well. Obviously, today we are using the Dark Reflections Tarot deck. So let's see what messages they have for you today, Pile 3, in regards to balancing this spirituality and practicality. Like, what is going on? Every time I shuffle this, the candles go bloop, bloop, bloop. So let's see here. Oh, I don't have a good grip. It's gonna fall. These can be kind of stiff sometimes. Okay. Okay, Spirit, give me some messages for Pile 3. What is this spirituality and practicality balance that we're trying to achieve here? Okay. We got the Hanged Man. Not surprised. We have the Lovers. Okay, yeah. We have 3 of Cups. It's always good. I always love seeing that energy. We have the 5 of Cups. Okay. And we have the Queen of Wands. All right. And I am going to also get more oracles as we go to get a little bit more in depth. But the first thing that I want to say to you, Pile 3, is that this is pretty clear with the balancing of the spirituality and the practicality. You definitely have a connection here with somebody, and I want to say that this is probably a close relationship that is really kind of not, I don't want to say not for you, but is probably draining you in some sort of resource way. So it could be emotion, it could be just resources in general. Maybe somebody is kind of like a financial burden to you. And this, again, this doesn't have to be a lover, but it very well might be. But somebody is draining you. And, the 5 of Cups is here too. He's kind of picking up the pieces of something that was lost. I think that the practicality piece here is pretty much trying to understand that you need to kind of focus on taking care of you first instead of you, the greater community. And there's nothing, I do think that for some reason, I see that you are an extremely generous person, Pile 3, but there may be something happening to where, I don't want to say somebody's taking advantage of your kindness, but they're definitely not feeling bad that they're draining you. They definitely don't, or don't see that they are becoming a burden in that sense. You really need to take a step back and look at it from another perspective. With the Hanged Man here, I think that they are trying to tell you that you're not seeing what's right in front of your face. Definitely kind of take a step back and really look at the connection that you're having with this person, and if it's draining you, if it's burdening you, and really step into that Queen of Wands energy where, the queen that is, the queen is the queen, all, long live the queen, is definitely a powerful figure. Okay. This particular queen, kind of similarly to, what do I want to say? Similarly to the Queen of Swords is, is confidence and, self-guidance and self-leadership and personal empowerment. Okay. And I do think that you are being advised to step into that. There is a section, like kind of like an understanding, that you might be somebody who is very much guided by the spiritual side of you that tells you to help others. But at the same time, if it's draining you and it's keeping you from being happy, it's detrimental. Okay. Everything has to be in that particular balance. And I think with especially the full moon in Pisces, it's very much an emotional connection, and your intuition and I think this, but you care deeply for this connection or this person, and you don't want to be the one who shuts the door, as somebody who is like, a parent of two young boys, the last thing I ever would consider in my mind is not supporting them. And I've had all these kind of talks with people, and it's like, oh, what if they were, doing this and doing that, and when do you say no? And it's very hard, especially for parents and people who care about another person to have those boundaries and to say no. But when do they cross that line to where it is now a detriment to you? And if I think that, like I said, with you being such a generous, open, and kind-hearted person, from what I can tell here, that, I think they're not saying that you shouldn't do this, but you need to get into better balance. You can help, but don't put yourself, don't make it so that it's a burden to yourself. You shouldn't have to struggle in order to help others is kind of the message that I'm receiving here. So let's get a little bit more. I'm going to give those a quick little shuffle. But then also I am going to pull some additional messages from this Gemstone Whispers deck. This is a new deck full of really kind of cool, stones, and kind of like what I was saying in pile 2's reading while I was shuffling was I'm really into gemstones and pretty much, all their properties, and I'm slowly learning, and I've loved them since I was little. I even just didn't know that there were such properties behind them at such a young age. I just was really obsessed with pretty rocks. So then I find this deck and I'm like, oh, this is cool. It's got all these messages too. So pile 3, Spirit, what do we have for pile 3? Yeah. Anything else? Kind of feel like there was one more message that needed to come out. Really? I really, yeah, okay, that's what I thought. Oh, maybe it was just waiting for those things to come close to the shuffle. Okay, so we have harmony, out of the clutter and find simplicity. Yeah, rhodonite. And I do know that rhodonite is a healing love stone. So, and it has to do with self-love. I know that because I read it. I read it in my little stones Bible. We have temperance, everything in moderation, including moderation. I think that is so funny. Everything in moderation, including moderation. You have to moderate the moderate, if that makes sense. Amethyst being one of my almost favorite stones ever. But yeah, temperance and balance. And again, everything in moderation. That includes you giving to others. You can give and you can help and you can, be of service to others. But again, you cannot drain yourself. You need to practice self-love. You need to have your own harmony. Okay. Pretty soon you'll burn out and you're not going to be able to give out of an empty cup. Or what if you deplete the resources to the point where you can't even help anybody anymore? A little is better than nothing. Okay. Pile 3. And then we have the sunstone. I am not pretty. I am beautiful and I am radiant as the sun. And yes, you are. It's definitely one of those, messages where it's kind of slapping you on the hand for saying, hey, what are you doing? Just kind of get yourself back in balance and really pay attention to what you're doing to yourself, but at the same time, it's saying, we know you're gorgeous. You're a beautiful soul. You want to help, you radiate this warmth and genuine compassion to people. And it's telling you, absolutely keep doing that. But at the same time, do it in moderation, pile 3. Okay. Just a quick shuffle one more time. Let's see what other messages that we have for you. Final advice, any messages, anything else you want to say to pile 3, Spirit? Just 2? I think that might be it for that. Okay, yes, the King of Wands, and then we have the Knight of Swords. Absolutely. So I am going to get, you know what? I'm going to get a couple. Give me, Spirit, can I have 2 more? 2 more would be fantastic. Thank you. Thank you. We're not doing those because they didn't want to come out, but anything else? Okay. Well, I said 2 and I got 2, so. All right. Okay, they're sliding all over the desk here. I really need like something to keep them not slipping and sliding. These things are slick sometimes. Okay, so we got the 6 of Wands. Yes, victory through battle next to the King of Wands. And then we also have the 8 of Cups with the Knight of Swords. Yes. Okay. So what the final messages are for you, pile 3, is, I think you really need to embody a lot of this Knight of Swords energy. Okay. The first thing that I think of when it comes to the Knight of Swords has a lot to do with being strategic and being swift and overcoming the obstacles. You are not being, tactless. You're not being forceful, or rude by enforcing your boundaries. Okay. This knight is assertive and decisive and strong and focused. And, it does call to, ask you, is what you're doing so selfless, that you're harming yourself. Okay. And I think the encouragement here with the 8 of Cups is to walk away from that. You cannot be, I don't want to say the martyr, because you're definitely not like throwing yourself on the cross, so to speak. But you are definitely in a mode of harming your own prosperity. Okay. You need to let go and kind of walk away and release this not release this attachment, but release this attachment, not to the person, but to the need to constantly give them all you have. Okay. You really need to, withdraw a bit. Okay. And really figure out how you want to hold that boundary while still, doing what resonates with your soul in terms of giving and supporting somebody else. Okay. The 6 of Wands, and the King of Wands here really kind of speak to a bit of victory. Okay. It's definitely, this is a controlling versus empowering card. Okay. He's definitely more empowering, and it indicates a time of being assertive with your decision making and taking a bold action, towards this boundary. Okay. It's you being loyal to yourself, independent, and pretty much, like I said in a couple other piles where he popped up, you're standing in your power and you are holding your boundary and you are saying, no, I can do this, but this is all I can do. And you can either take it or leave it. And sometimes it's hard to say that to people. But you will be victorious in this. This has a lot to do with, accomplishment and success and feeling confident in your own abilities. So, sometimes people do need to hear the word no. Okay. Pile 3, and being no is not mean. It's you just need to protect your own energy and, just take responsibility for what is yours. Oh, I got the hiccups, and I'm going to drink some water because, my goodness. Excuse me. What was I saying? So, just this is going to be victorious. I think you might be, another message that just came to me is kind of, you're probably very fearful of bringing this to this person and saying, hey, you know, I've been supporting you and helping you with this all this time, but it's really weighing on me. And I think you're kind of fearing that you're going to get a lot of backlash. And the message that I'm getting is they're going to be like, oh, I didn't know. I'm so sorry. You know, they're going to take what you're offering to them, and take it, you know, they've probably been taking it very graciously, but definitely not realizing the toll that it is taking on you. So don't be afraid to go and draw your boundaries and say no. They are going to understand, and I don't see them flipping out or being negative about that at all. Okay, so I'm going to get some I'm going to get some advice from the Wisdom of the Oracle. I just got this lovely little deck, and because I watch another YouTuber who's my favorite one on YouTube. Her name is Julie Poole, and she uses this all the time, and I've been admiring it, and I finally got it. But definitely check her out if, you know, if you feel called to. What final message do you have for my lovely Pile 3 Spirit? Okay. Just one today, just one. Milk and honey, yeah, with the number 51, which again reduces to 6, which is a card of moving on. I don't know why I'm doing this in a sing-song voice, but that's okay. So 51 is milk and honey, and this is trusting that your needs are going to be met, okay? This is kind of taking the sweet time in your life and what do I want to say? Nurturing that within you that creates abundance. Okay. You are definitely somebody who is already very much in a very authentic way. You're definitely an authentic person. But I would probably say that this version of yourself is definitely kind of the helper of the world. And, you know, you are definitely aligned with that truth, but at the same time, you know, really pay attention to what your true north is, essentially. You're going to find that when you kind of step into your power and step into this direction and pay attention to, you know, pretty much what your soul is guiding you to do, you know, you're going to have these opportunities to kind of lead your best life and help others. And really being that light for others that you can freely give without, you know, having that weight or that burden or lack of resources or giving too much to where you don't have anything, essentially. So there is prosperity coming for you, and definitely moving into a better energy when it comes to the situation that we've been talking about here. And then I'm going, wow, okay, we're not going to take all those because I don't think they wanted to say all of that to you. Come here. Okay, don't mess up my beautiful thing. Thank you. Let's get one of these. Let's get one of these angel messages that just decide to just bleh all over the cards, and give you every message in the deck, so to speak. All right. Angels, what do you have to say to your pile 3? That's the one that wanted to come out. Was there anything else that you want to say? Because I do think... No! We're going to take them all. Okay, we're just going to take them all. It's fine. I think they wanted to say lots of things to you. Okay, so we're going to do it. I'm not fighting this. Okay, so we have patience. No matter what the situation or delay is, your desire will come when it is meant to. Okay, take it as it resonates. A surprise is on the horizon. Expect a nice surprise. Heaven's messages. Your loved ones in heaven want you to know that they are safe, protected, and reunited with family and friends. I hardly ever get that one. Retreat. Seek and receive consolation from God to overcome a difficult experience. This is the time for reflection, solitude, and contemplation. And then Archangel Michael, providing protection and strength. Yeah. Okay, so you had 5 glorious messages there, all about you and And it does look like, you know, the main meaning that I get from this is that you definitely are somebody who is a soul and a light to the world. Like your soul definitely touches a lot of people, and I do think that the angels are your spiritual team is coming through to say, you know, multiple messages from multiple spirit guides, multiple angels, and saying that we're here for you, we're protecting you. Take some time out for yourself. We're watching out for you. You will be safe. Hold, you know, be patient, and you know, whatever the delay is or whatever you were waiting for, it is on the horizon, and it does look like it's going to be a nice surprise. Okay, so take that as it resonates. I didn't feel comfortable taking those off when they flew out like that, so we'll just leave it there. Okay. All right, Pile 3, that is all the messages I have for you today. If this reading resonated with you, you know the spiel, please comment down below. Your comments, likes, and subscribes really help my channel, and I appreciate and am thankful for every single one of you. And that will conclude your reading for today. I appreciate you being here, and I hope you have a good rest of the week. Take care.